Why is Ukraine important to Russia? Can this looming crisis be averted? Welcome to my channel, Why? My name is Dennis, and today I want to explore the question or topic why Ukraine is important to Russia, or to Putin. Why is it important that Russia or Putin must have Ukraine? I am by no means a foreign policy expert. My uncle is, though, and growing up around him, I've had an earful of issues on Russia and USSR, the Soviet Union, and other matters of the world. Nevertheless, I am an informed citizen of the world, with my ear to the ground on things that matter to us. You should be concerned about things going on around you. God forbid a war breaks out anywhere in the world. It will affect everyone's micro and macroeconomics, politics, etc. Regardless, the Almighty God, Creator and Owner of the universe, gave the entire earth to every one of us. So it is our responsibility to know about world affairs, pray for or about it, and care for the people of the world. So let's begin with a bit of the history of Ukraine and its importance to Russia. Don't let the historical background bore you. Keep on watching because it is important to give context to what appears like sibling rivalry and quarrels. And I am really going to try hard to pronounce the Eastern European names correctly. Don't judge. So, who and what and where is Ukraine? Ukraine is in Eastern Europe, bordered by Russia, Belarus, Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, and Romania. Ukraine is the second largest country in Europe after Russia. The capital of Ukraine is Kiev, and Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union until 1991, when it became independent. The official language of this country is Ukrainian, and it has a population of 44 million people. It is not a small country by any means, about 1/7 the population of the United States. The early history of Russia and Ukraine. The early modern period in Russia and Europe was a time of significant change, with the rise of the nation-state and new forms of social, economic, and political organization. Its unique geography largely shaped the changes that occurred in Russia. Russia's vast land mass was spread out over a vast area, which made it difficult for the Tsar to control his subjects as they were sparsely so spread out. It also meant there were many different cultures and languages across the country, which often led to conflict between different groups within the country. The agreement of Aslov that annexed Ukraine by Russia. The Aslov Agreement is a treaty that was signed on September 18, 1784, between the Russian Empire and the Ukrainian Cossack Hetmanate. The agreement was signed in Pereyaslav-Khmelnytsky, which is now located in Ukraine. It resulted in the reunification of the Ukrainian people under Russian rule and paved the way for the eventual annexation of what is now modern-day Ukraine by Russia. As a formal act, this treaty gave Russia the reason to proclaim its sovereignty over the Ukrainian territory, hitherto outside its domain. This agreement also led to a series of events that would change the map of Eastern Europe. The Crimean Khanate would eventually be annexed by Russia as well. And so Russia continued to invade Ukraine. Timeline of Russian invasion of Ukraine and what it probably means for the future. The Russian invasion in Ukraine is a complicated and controversial topic. It is important to understand this event, historically and economically, to see what it means for the future. On March 1, 2014, Russia annexed Crimea and invaded eastern Ukraine. The invasion was followed by a military intervention by NATO states, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, on behalf of Ukraine, and sanctions from the EU and US against Russia. Although Ukraine had yet to join NATO at this time, they later joined NATO's Enhanced Partner Interoperability Program on June 12, 2020. This event has had a significant impact on the geopolitical landscape of Europe and beyond. Now, let's see why. Why Ukraine is important to Putin and Russia. Ukraine, as a country in Eastern Europe, borders the Black Sea and Russia. It has been an important part of Russian history for centuries. Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union until 1991, when it became an independent country. The independence of Ukraine has been a major issue for Putin since he became president in 2000. President Vladimir Putin has repeatedly expressed his desire to take back what he calls Russian lands, including Ukraine and other Eastern European countries. Ukraine's importance to Russia is not a new topic. Russia has always relied on Ukraine for its natural resources. In the past, Ukraine was the breadbasket of Russia, but now it is more like a cash cow. Aha, so this is what it is. This is why Putin cares so much about Ukraine. Since the 2014 Ukrainian Revolution, Ukraine has been a source of tension for Russia. Putin's interest in Ukraine is understandable, considering the country's strategic location and economic importance. It is one of the largest countries in Europe and borders Russia and other former Soviet states. Ukraine also has a long history with Russia, having been part of the Soviet Union. The Ukrainian Revolution in 2014 was a pivotal moment for Putin, who saw it as an opportunity to increase Russian influence in the region. He also saw it as an opportunity to expand his power base at home by creating a sense of national unity against outside forces that threaten Russian interests. Is Ukraine really a Russian inheritance? Russia has a history of controlling other countries, but Ukraine is a special case. Russia has been in control of Ukraine for many years, and it continues to dominate the country. But does any one country own another? Or is any nation or group of people beholden to another? Ukraine is important to Russia because it provides Russia with an economic, military, and political buffer from the West. It also provides Russia with a large market for its goods and natural resources. What happens next with Russia and the Ukraine crisis? What country or group has the right and resources to stop another from self-determination, which is the process by which a group of people, usually possessing a certain degree of national consciousness, form their own state and choose their own government? Bible teachers tell us that God, the Almighty Creator of the world, desires brothers and sisters, and people of common interest should dwell together in unity because it is good and pleasant. But if they won't, let them stay apart, since no two people can work together except they agree. We can pray, speak, encourage, and avert the pain and suffering that comes on the grass when two elephants fight. We can avoid wars and the depleting aftermath of them. In closing, the Ukrainian crisis has been one of the most significant geopolitical events of our time. It has affected Ukraine and countries worldwide, including China, which is currently poised and watching, and the United States, whom the whole world is waiting to see whether or how it would reign in Russia. Please subscribe to my channel, like it, ring the bell, and share the videos to help us grow. So, please post your comment to share your thoughts or knowledge about the topic, and that this video was helpful to you. Remember to send me your why questions. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.